I'm Quentin Byfield. I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and happy holidays this year.
Hi, I'm Bowen Byram. I'd like to wish all of Canada a Merry Christmas and a happy and safe holidays.
Hi, this is Dylan Cousins. I'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
Thank you, boys. Merry Christmas to you all and to all of Canada from Edmonton, Alberta, where the big screen is saying Merry Christmas in every language represented here. Been a tough, different year for all of us here and across the world. The World Juniors impacted like everything else, but the games go on. Canada's hockey holiday tradition starts now. Christmas morning in Edmonton, Alberta, where the World Junior Hockey Championship starts one day early this year, and it begins with Switzerland and Slovakia. Everybody dreams of winning the gold. Likely not realistic aspirations for the Swiss and Slovakia, but this is a critical early game for these two, likely to battle it out for third spot in Group A, as we get you started on Christmas Day from the World Juniors. And we say Merry Christmas, everyone. James Duthie and Bob McKenzie, welcome to the first of 3 games here on day 1 of the World Junior Hockey Championship. It's not the World Juniors we expected. We are in a bubble. We are only in Edmonton, not in Red Deer. All part of the COVID adjustments and the difficult times we are in right now. But we do have hockey for you, and it is often the best hockey of the year here at the World Juniors. Canada will open its tournament on Boxing Day tomorrow against Germany. But 3 games for you today, beginning with Switzerland and Slovakia. And to get you ready for it, the guys who will call it, Dennis Bayak and Craig Button.
Experience is always a big part of this World Junior Hockey Championship, Craig. And for Slovakia, the experience comes in goal. Yeah, with Samuel Halavai. And this is his 3rd World Junior tournament. And for Slovakia, when you know you have somebody that's so rock solid back there, it gives you a sense of comfort. Now, what Slovakia has to do is just make sure they don't force him to have to make unnecessary saves. Their pre-tournament game against the Czech Republic, they were awful in that regard. And Samuel Halavai kept bailing them out time and time again. He will be there and he'll be solid. Don't force him into unnecessary plays and saves. 4 games as a 17-year-old, 5 as an 18-year-old. He'll carry the load again this year.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. We should get a close game, at least if we go by the past between these two nations. It's really close. 6-5-1, Switzerland the edge historically at this tournament, and the goal's 39-38. Slovaks did not have a good pre-tournament game against the Czechs, losing 6-0, but who does the Swiss have to look out for on that Slovakian team?
Well, Martin Kromiak, number 8 for Slovakia, is a good offensive player, a 5th-round pick of the Los Angeles Kings, and he played on the top line of the Kingston Frontenacs from January forward, along with Shane Wright, and put up some pretty impressive numbers in the OHL, 11 goals, 33 points in 28 games. I thought maybe he would have gone a little higher in the draft, maybe around the 3rd round, slipped to the 5th, maybe because he lacks a little bit of a physical element, but he's got a great one-timer. He's a skillful player who can score and break a game open. A game like this could break it open, so keep an eye on Kromiak.
Let's have a look at our starting goaltenders. You heard Craig and Dennis talking about Samuel Halavai, who was here last year. And it's hard to read into the numbers at the World Juniors. He had a 5.37 goals against, an 851 save percentage. But remember, he's playing for Slovakia against teams like Canada and the U.S. and Russia and so on. He was named a top 3 player in the tournament for that team. Thomas Vetton is the goaltender for the Swiss today. A reminder, Germany and Finland later, and then USA-Russia, which should be terrific tonight. But the Swiss and the Slovaks kick off the World Juniors next.
The 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship from Edmonton, Alberta is brought to you in part by Esso. The Esso brand has fueled Canada's love of hockey for over 80 years. By Nike, official gear of Canada's national hockey teams. By TELUS, helping build stronger communities on and off the ice. When we give back together, we're all connected for good. And by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of Team Canada. The 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship from Edmonton, Alberta is brought to you in part by Chevrolet. Find new reasons to cheer. Find new roads.
time only that this World Junior Hockey Championship will begin on Christmas Day. 3 games today. This is game 1 of 20 as they battle to get to the quarterfinals. Referees for this opening game: Fraser Lawrence of Edmonton, Carter Sandlak of London, the linesman Maxim Chaput of St. Jerome, and Adam Harris of Hamilton. In goal for Slovakia, a bit of a surprise. Simon Letotsky will get the start in place of Samuel Halavai. The 18-year-old catches with the right hand, and Thibaut Fatten, the 19-year-old, will get the start in nets for Switzerland. Robert Petrovicki in behind the bench for Slovakia. His second World Junior Championship in behind the bench. He played in the 1992 for Czechoslovakia. And it is Marco Bader, who is the head coach of Switzerland. Played in the 91 and the 92 World Junior Championship for Switzerland.
Good. All right, boys. Hey, Merry Christmas. Let's start off right. Here we go. Down, hold.
The puck is down, and the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship here in Edmonton is underway. Yelush carries for Mrazek, shot from a sharp angle off a leg and deflected wide. And right back up for Valentin Hofer. Hofer sends this into the Slovakian zone. Schlapfer trying to jam that on the short side. Schlapfer stays on it. Plays back at the line. Wrister from Allen Spock goes off a stick and wide. Chanto trying to break this up at center ice. Gets a little bit of help there from Marchand. And it's cleared back into the Switzerland zone where Barragano will go back for it. Barragano will leave. Kananika circles behind his own net, takes the puck, gets to center, finds a little bit of space and sends it in. Letotsky plays it up the boards. Meyer trying to hold the line, but it ends up on the stick of Kalenic. He'll play it up for Makulka. Makulka carries in. Makulka trying to play it off the backboards. He got turned aside, and it's back up at center ice. Makulka back in deep. Makulka takes a bump on the play from Fiedler. Fiedler has lost his stick. Gets a little bit of help there from Simon Kanak. Slovakia on the attack. Sojka for Chromiak. The pass got intercepted in behind the Switzerland net. Bichar trying to hold the line and does. Off the corner board, Sojka's after it, but getting there first is Fiedler. And Fiedler will get it out of his own zone, get to the bench, and get his own stick back. Well, actually, his own stick is still in behind the net, but at least he can give Simon Kanak his stick back. Sojka. Kashlik puts on the brakes against the checking of Pizzulo. In from the line is Nemitz. Lays it back in behind the net. And now grabbed off by Vardu. He'll flip this out to center ice. Gets blocked there by Staha. And he'll play it right back into the Switzerland zone. Switzerland and Slovakia in the opening game of this World Junior Hockey Championship. Slovakia finishing in 8th spot last year. Cleared up through center, Mudrak. Bounces this back into the neutral zone. Gobbled up by Golian, who did not play last year, but did play in British Columbia back in 2019. Bichar gives chase. Marchand in after the loose puck. Big hit in behind the net. Puck comes around the boards, kept in at the line by Chanton. Yelush tried to get up for Konoshko. It's off the end of his stick and slides back into the Switzerland zone where Fatten will play it. The net finder. Canuck had him get away from him. Turan goes cross ice. Chanton on the regroup through the middle. This was tipped. Letotsky will come out and play it. Gobbled up on the near side, and Bottini saw the open net there but missed. Mrazek with the long shot. Blocker save, Fanton. Mrazek trying to block it in behind the net. It gets away from him. And Simon Kanak here in the Switzerland dressing room with Simon. If you were in the Portland dressing room, it was Simon. Long shot turned away by Letotsky. We're not sure, Craig, on the Letotsky getting the start here. It was supposed to be Hlavai.
Something must have happened.
Here's a chance for Fust off the outside of the goalpost. A 2-on-1, and Ray Fust with the game's first good scoring opportunity. Played back down low by Baradu. Scramble in front. Letotsky is down. Makes the save, and Chromiak is on the loose puck. For Slafkovsky, nice move. Slafkovsky works his way around Bardu into the crease area. It comes and cleared away by Fatton. Bichard. He took a big hit in the pre-tournament game against the Czech Republic. Is okay and is in the lineup for Slovakia.
So back to Hlavai, something must have happened in the warm-up because, you know, he was taking all the reps of a starting goaltender, and
he is expected to be their workhorse in this tournament. All the way down the ice, and this will be an icing call against Switzerland, and we'll get a stoppage in play.
Why don't we take a look at some of the saves early on by Simon Letotsky. I mean, he has to get a real good pad on this chance by Marchand right off the bat on a sloppy play by Slovakia. And then this is the break through the middle off the post. I guess you could say he shut it down enough where all the guy had was the post. But, you know, when the Slovaks are really sloppy. Like they create so many of their own problems because, you know, a puck comes in, they lose position, they don't bear down on a puck, and, you know, things under their control, they don't take control of.
3 games to start this championship. Germany, Finland, 4 o'clock local, and 7:30 local, Russia and USA. Canada's opening game tomorrow against Germany, as Germany will go back-to-back, despite the fact being somewhat short-staffed. Penalty coming up on the play.
Nathan Vordu. I mean, again, it's the play right along the boards. Like when are players going to learn? Like, when are they going to learn? Like, number one, when you're faced to the boards, okay, you're not dangerous. You're not dangerous. Like, you can't do anything. So why are you going to hit the guy or board the guy? You're going to get a penalty. There it is right there. And it's unnecessary. I mean, we talk about stick penalties and stick fouls. I mean, that's just as unnecessary a penalty as any of those other ones.
So Slovakia to the power play. Power play that last year scored 4 times on 21 opportunities. Neither of these teams drew a lot of penalties in last year's tournament in the Czech Republic. Shorthanded for Ronnie Dollar. Slovakia will regroup. First power play of the game. Switzerland's penalty kill last year ran at 76.9%, killing 20 of 26. And now we get another stoppage in play.
Marco Bayer, the coach of Switzerland. An early power play here for Slovakia, who had some good chances in the first 10 to 12 minutes in their pre-tourney game versus Czech, but couldn't take advantage, and then the game just went completely the opposite way on Slovakia, and really they weren't even any type of a participant in the last 48 minutes of that game as the Czech Republic just took it over and ruled it.
Soika will carry it in. At the line, Kanashko, Slafkovsky. Slafkovsky sends it for Chromiak. Chromiak looking for the low glove corner on Fatton and missed the net. Slafkovsky plays it back. Chromiak unloads. That got blocked. Slafkovsky on it again. Sends it to the goal line to Soika that gets it back. Up top, Kanashko, the shot save made. Fatton is down. Chromiak trying to jam it. And Fatton gets across quick enough to make the save.
Like the power play. They were zipping around. Martin Chromiak is getting ready to shoot it. He was hungry going to the net here off the shot by Kanashko. You see Chromiak coming in here. He tries to come around with a stick and try to flip it in here, but here's a nice little pass by Slafkovsky, and Chromiak gets pointed. He misses the net. They were zipping it around pretty nicely.
Nemitz will dish this off for Nessar. Plays it in behind the net. Power play continues. 37 seconds. Yelush for Mrazek. Mrazek to the goal line for Fight. Back up top for Nemitz. Back down for Yelush and back down for Fight. He'll work the power play off the goal line. Sharp angle try. Mrazek. Quick release there from Mrazek, but it goes off a stick and up and out of play. So a bit of a closer look at Slovakia. There's their population, the junior players. 74 indoor arenas. Medals have been a little bit tough to come by, and Marko Dano, despite the fact he was born in Austria, does play as a Slovak. World Championship was in Slovakia not that long ago.
Robert Petrovic comes right back with that line that created a lot of chances here. Chromiak with Slafkovsky. Last 20 seconds.
Control on the far side. Kanashko lets the wrister go. That's off the outside of the net. Chromiak tracks it down. Slafkovsky back for Chromiak. Quick release, the one-timer. And he ripped that one over top the net.
I love the way they tried to work multiple points of attack. You make the goaltender work in that regard.
Slafkovsky in with a wrist shot. Wide, short side, deflected away by Guggenheim from the side of the net. Kept in at the line. Wrister and Fatten makes the glove save. So some chances on the power play. Chromiak with that quick release, looking on the backside for the pass, missed it.
Well, Switzerland has found their way, you know, to become a lot more competitive at the junior level, certainly at the World Championship level. And you know, let's not forget Nico Hischier, his breakout party at the World Junior Championships, and route to becoming the first overall pick in the NHL draft. And producing some very good players.
Switzerland led the World Junior Championship last year in scoring efficiency. They scored 20 goals in the 5 games on only 124 shots on goal. And that was best in that category. Staha chased back into his own zone. Gets it for Oliver Turan. Tried to get that up for Elias. Kananika breaks it up. Trying to work it out of the corner is Kanat. Lost control of it. Kalenic for Slovakia had a handle on it, lost it. And now it comes across for Juraj Elias. His lead pass, goaltender Fatten will come out and play it. That negated the icing call.
You think back to the 2012 World Junior Championship in Calgary and Edmonton, and Sven Berchi, I mean, he was lights out great for Switzerland at that tournament. Timo Meier, who plays with the San Jose Sharks. Switzerland's producing some high-end players.
Berchi is still the leader for career points. Patrick Berchi is not Sven, but Patrick, with 22 points in 19 games. We talked about this in the pre-tournament game. Nico Gross and some of the other names that were so familiar to this Swiss team that are no longer eligible. 4 World Juniors for Nico Gross.
Well, they built the blue line. Tim Bernie was on that blue line. David Abisher. I mean, it was a blue line that, you know, was really steady. They had lots of experience. It's a luxury to have players for that long, and there's some growing pains early when you're 16 and 17, but you get the benefits when they turn 18 and 19.
Abisher played big-time minutes for them last year. That came off the corner boards at a bit of a strange angle. Fatten had to be careful with that. Pichar, number 3 for Slovakia, trying to get a handle on it. Kent. And back up the ice for Ronnie Dolan. That shot turned away by Latotsky. Again, it is Simon Latotsky in nets for Slovakia. Played back at the line by Durungs. Pizzulo lets the wrister go, looking for a tip. It goes wide, and Kanashko will chip this ahead. Chipped out at center ice by Roman Fight. Jovan will deflect this in. Schlotfer drops it back. Guggenheim with the long shot. And that gets deflected up and out of play. Scoreless, Slovakia and Swiss. Time now for Gear Up with Skip the Dishes. If you're wondering where all those great on-ice shots come from, Nate Ides, the pride and joy of Rosenort, Manitoba, part of our TSN crew that works the Winnipeg Jets games. He is on the ice during stoppages in play, getting you all those great close-ups from this World Junior Championship, and has done it for years. Gets a lot of skating in. Skip the Dishes, the official food delivery app of Hockey Canada.
Well, let me tell you, too, about Nate. I mean, he hadn't had the opportunity to skate the last little while, but he worked on his deep knee bends, his flexibility. He really put a lot of work into his off-ice training. He's here prepared to give you those great shots from on ice.
Yeah, that's pretty good on, a little thick. Great work, though, by Nate. Out through center ice, just to make the decision when to get on the ice and get off the ice in a hurry so that coaches and players aren't yelling at you.
Well, he wears that white outfit. I hope he doesn't forget to come off the ice because you might not see him.
Well, there's no snow here, at least, so he doesn't get lost outside the rink. Scoreless in this opening game of the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship. Only the third time that the tournament has started on Christmas Day. Odd man rush, sharp angle try. Simon Canuck in front of the net trying to get a stick on it. The captain of Switzerland. Latotsky grabs it and hangs on, and tempers get a little bit testy.
So we talk about Slovakia. Don't create your own problem. So here's a break up, and the defenseman goes off to the side, and there's two Swiss players in front of the net. Like your defensive positioning, your understanding of where to go or where not to go has to be a lot better, or you're gonna, a very innocent play now becomes potentially dangerous because of something that was unnecessary.
Canuck being watched by Mudrak. Mudrak, one of the returning players for Slovakia. 6 returnees for them. And then, as we mentioned, Golian did not play last year, but did play in 2019. Canuck tries to work this loose and does. Canuck, the former Portland Winterhawk, now playing with HC Davos. Odd man rush. Kalenic goes to the front of the net looking for that return pass. And it never did get to him from Yendik. Kalenic dishes it off. Eliash with the quick wrister, and Fatten will snare that.
Kalenic has some energy. He plays with some jump and enthusiasm in his game. He's around the puck. It's a pretty good defensive play. You know, elongated. I'm not a big guy on the elongation, but that's a nice play there by Cedric Fiedler, who plays at Western Michigan University. For Manitoba native Andy Murray, long-time NHL international coach.
Fiedler spent a couple of years in Fargo. Face off to the left of Fatten. Messer out there for Slovakia as they gain control off the draw. Soiko gets squeezed out. Soiko gets chased in the corner. Nessar, sharp angle. Fatten down. And we'll get another face-off in the Switzerland zone.
Messar comes from below the goal line, and he's trying to get into a better position to shoot the puck. That's what you got to do. Get inside the dots, try to attack into that inner slot, that slot area, take advantage. Slovakia's look sharp here after a little bit of a pedestrian start, I'll say.
Well, not happy with last year's finish at all. Trying to do better. In fact, the last wins have been hard to come by for them. Their last 2 years, the only win by Slovakia came against Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan was exciting. Victoria, they were great. They had that wonderful, you know, the Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline, you know, it was. And when they scored their first goal in that tournament, I mean, and the building was filled and everybody got behind it. It was wonderful to be part of that.
That's the thing with this tournament. Denmark was the darling of Toronto. Kazakhstan became the darling of Victoria. Memories that those young men will have for the rest of their lives. Jendek gets knocked down on the play. Kananika on the loose puck, and a penalty coming up on the play. Kananika getting all tied up there with Roman Fight. And the penalty coming in behind the play, it's going to be Delamont.
Switzerland, number 4, minor penalty, interference.
It was a good play by Fight. You know, he's not letting himself be deterred. He's pushing through, forces Noah Delamont into a penalty. And the first power play for Slovakia was very good.
They had 4 shots on that first man advantage and had some good looks. And that top unit comes right back out again. Guggenheim plays it around for Slapfer, and Slapfer will send it down the ice. Knashko back on the loose puck. Center ice drop pass for Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky gets all tied up on the near side with Dollar. And the puck cleared down the ice. Quick up. Slavkovsky will carry it in. He'll drop it back for Makluka. Makluka on for Soika. Trying to center it. Makluka after the loose puck in the corner. Knashko. Chromiak. Chromiak with the wrister up high. Good save by Fatten.
Shoot it. Make him think that the shot can come from a lot of different places. Chromiak's in a good spot. Malushka makes a really good hard play here. He recognizes the play below the goal line. He gets on the puck, keeps the puck alive and in possession for Slovakia, and then Knashko gets it over to Chromiak. He could have taken another step or two inside the dot.
Face-off win. Nemitz gets it back at the line. The long wrist shot. That goes wide. Yelush puts that one in through some traffic. Yelush trying to hold the line. Did, or it may have been an odd man shorthanded chance for Switzerland. Nemitz will play this cross ice. 50 seconds left in the power play. Messar with the shot. Messar has it again and tried to get that in behind the net. He was looking for Roman Fight, and it got deflected.
Well, you know, the first power play unit with Chromiak and Slavkovsky. Here's Slovakia's last 5 results. Haven't done very well. But Robert Petrovicki's dialed into this group on the power play. He's dialed into them. He made the other group got out there for a short period, whistled, they come right back out.
They need offense. Only 9 goals in last year's tournament for Slovakia. Only 5 came on special teams. Only 4 came at even strength. Yelush spins it back for Soika. Slavkovsky into the slot. Plays give and go there with Makluka. Knashko looked cross ice for Chromiak, and as he took his eye off that puck for a split second, it bobbled on him and came outside the line. Makluka tried to chip that for Chromiak. It got stopped. Now Chromiak will wind it up, carry it in. Chromiak takes it wide. After the World Junior last year, Chromiak came to the Ontario Hockey League with Kingston. 2 shots on the power play. Slavkovsky, the wrist shot off the leg and wide. Verdu got a left shin pad on that. Ludrak, wrister, sailed wide. Makluka gets bumped on the far side by Kananika. And the puck cleared in. Race forward now. Simon Canuck going after it. Couldn't get a handle on it. And this gets sent in deep by Slavkovsky, and a line change for Slovakia.
Juraj Shalovsky is a 16-year-old player, number 18 for Slovakia. He looks very, very calm and very talented. You can see that he's relied upon here by Robert Petrovicki as a 16-year-old.
This game awaits its opening tally. Switzerland and Slovakia. Canada's quest for gold at the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship begins tomorrow. They'll kick off the tournament against Germany. Coverage begins at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific, only on TSN. The future of hockey lives here. around the boards and kept it at the line by Noah Meyer. Alan Spock tried to get a handle on it. Deep could not, and is cleared back up at center. This will be a delayed offside. Slovakia will clear the zone, and Noah Meyer will circle back. Eligible for the 2021 draft is Noah Meyer. Kept in along the near side, Kalenic. Plays it for Elias. Elias tees it up. And that shot goes off of Verdu and out of play.
Like the NHL return to play, they took down the netting around the rink. I mean, no spectators obviously in the building. So rather than have the potential for pucks to end up in that netting and bounces, that something somehow gets missed, they just took it down. So if you're taking a look at it, it's following the same setup as the NHL had in their return to play.
Shot from the left point doesn't get through from Yendik. Chase down near side, Mrazek lets it go. He was trying to let Yelich pick that up, but it was gobbled up and carried down by Ronnie Dollar. Dollar for Jobin. Jobin gets tied up. Dollar went down to one knee, gets up and stays on it, but Roman Fight clears it up at center. Stepping up to break that up goes Pizzulo. And right back into the Slovakian zone. Yelich plays it around for Roman Fight. Fight turned it over. Lionel Marchand puts on the brakes in behind the net. Center tried to get that for Jobin. Ends up at the blue line for Delamont. He'll skate it in, chip it in front of the net. If that makes its way onto the stick of Marchand, he's got an open side, but it got intercepted before it got to him.
Well, the Swiss have not been in the Slovak end very often this first period, but this had the makings of being dangerous. You can see the puck kind of bouncing around. Latowski finds it. And it's all kinds of, it's a rugby scrum down there. He's been alert, Latowski. He's been like finding the puck. Very alert in the net.
Ludrak carries it in. Tried to get that to the front of the net for Soika. It deflects away. Golian plays it back down low, and it's around for Anaki Barragano. The long lead pass up the middle, on and off the stick of Elvis Schlapfer. And Ludrak will regroup. This gets turned over, trying to bust his way through the middle of the ice there was Kashlik. And this will be an icy call against Slovakia. We're looking to make a line change. That won't happen. And Dominic Soika will have to stay out. 6'6", 220 pounds for the 19-year-old Dominic Soika. He'll face off against Kananika. 17-year-old is Kananika, eligible for the 2021 draft. Scramble up the side of the net. Simon Canuck got a couple of whacks at it. Kananika plays it back at the line, sent back down low by Cedric Fiedler. Gets away from Konashko and grabbed out by Canuck. Into the slot, wrist shot, that got blocked as Noah Meyer tried to drive it through.
Ty Kashlik gets right into that shooting lane and blocks that attempt.
Third back in, Meyer. Very good skater. Noah Meyer chases this down. Bichar on it now for Slovakia, getting pressured by Kananika. Kananika will now make his way to the bench, and Switzerland will try to get a line change in the final minute here with play in the Slovakian zone, but that didn't last very long as it's carried out by McCluka. Cleared back out at center ice by Alan Spock, and back into the Slovakian zone for Staha. He'll drop it back, and getting taken down on the play was Chromiak, and we'll get a power play for Switzerland.
Daryl Allensbach below the goal line, offensive zone. Chromiak, though, goes to another gear here. He's got a really good first step quickness, and he can change in stride, and Allensbach ends up on the wrong side of him. Now this power play gets a chance here with 40 seconds left in the first period.
Third power play of the game for Switzerland. They had, or for Slovakia, they had 4 shots in the first power play, 2 on the second. And now we'll go to work with 40.4 seconds left in period 1. As my buddy Luby would say, they'll wash the ice, and barring a goal here, they'll finish the power play in the second period. Carried in on the shorthanded try, centered. And this will make its way all the way off the far boards and back out at center. And grabbed off by Rocco Pizzulo. He'll play it right back out.
Not a very smart play there by Simon Nemec. Mrazek hand passed it, and he was coming back. There was no pressure, and then Nemec touches it. I mean, Mrazek was coming right back to grab it. Nemec touches it. Now you get a whistle. We've seen a couple of plays off faceoffs in the Slovak end that have resulted in some scrambles around their net. Doesn't turn out that way on that faceoff.
Skipped away from Chromiak. So this power play having some difficulty getting going in the dying seconds here of period number 1. Last minute try here. Slafkovsky carries it in. Gets taken to the corner boards, and that will end period number 1. Shots on the big clock, 12-5 in favor of Slovakia. One period done.
Right, here we go.
Slovakia and Switzerland scoreless after 20 minutes.
It's crunch time in the NFL, and CTV and TSN are the places to be. Tom Brady and the Bucs are 1 game behind the Saints in the NFC South. They will take on the Lions at noon Eastern time. And then the Dolphins and the Raiders. Dolphins a game behind the Bills in the AFC East. That one's 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. CTV and TSN. James Duthie and Bob McKenzie back with your first intermission. You talked about Chromiak before the game. We remember last year Canada's lethal power play, and they just kept setting up Barrett Hayton and Lafreniere from the slot over and over again. And that seems like Slovakia's philosophy is just get at the Chromiak and let him fire.
Yeah, and they had 3 power plays and didn't take advantage of them. But nevertheless, you can see what the game plan is to try and get the puck to Chromiak on that one-timer. And the scouting report I got from NHL scouts before this game was tremendous one-timer, and it's in effect here. He tees that one up and continually shoots from the top of the circle. Wasn't able to make anything happen, but it's certainly something to keep an eye on. And he does that a lot with the Kingston Frontenacs, playing on that line with Shane Wright and Zaid Wisdom. So Chromiak's scouting report comes to fruition, and Slovakia is still not able to break through on those 3 power plays.
One of my favorite parts of this tournament, you like watching the guys who've already been drafted by the NHL teams, or the guys who are draft eligibles. But I love watching the 16-year-olds, and there are not that many in the tournament, that you know that you are going to see at the draft next year, 2 years down the road. This Juraj Slafkovsky, he's going to be prominent whenever that 2022.
Talked to an NHL scout before the game, and he says the best prospect, bar none, for the National Hockey League in this game is this 16-year-old kid. So he's not draft eligible until 2022. He's 6'4". He's 216 pounds. Yeah, 6'4", 216, number 18. Likes to make plays with the puck, doesn't get through entirely there, but then comes back and says, oh, same thing again. I'm going to try to dipsy-doodle, get through, and he creates a good offensive opportunity. He's on the power play with Chromiak. He tries to set him up, and this kid plays with a lot of confidence. There's the shot, goes in, wins the battle behind the net, and controlled the puck all over the place. So he's got a real good shot to be a first-round pick in the 2022 National Hockey League entry draft. It's not that Marian Gaborik, 16-year-old in Brandon against Canada in 1999 World Junior wow moment, but that's been an impressive 20 minutes from this kid.
This is an international tournament. One of the most international guys in the tournament is Switzerland defenseman Cedric Fiedler, who has triple citizenship: Switzerland, Germany, and the United States. He's with our Ryan Rashad.
Well, Cedric, 20 minutes in the books for your team, a younger team in this tournament. How do you think you guys made out?
We played pretty good. We played pretty physical. Could maybe start playing a little bit simpler, but overall it was a pretty good period.
How big a favor could you guys do yourselves by picking up an early win here in this event?
That'd be huge. Get an early point, and then another important game against Germany. to make it to the quarterfinals.
You were born in Boca Raton, Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
You are Swiss. You also have German and United States citizenship.
Yeah.
So when Germany plays the U.S., who do you cheer for?
For the U.S. for sure.
Oh, that's where you grew up?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, good stuff. Good luck today.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Western Michigan University defenseman is Cedric Fielder. 12-5 the shots in favor of Slovakia. Opportunities at both ends. But we await the first goal of the 2021 World Juniors.
Character, integrity, respect. If we bring good sportsmanship on and off the ice, we can help end bullying.
Triple header today, triple header tomorrow from the World Juniors. It starts with Sweden putting its 52-game group play winning streak on the line against the Czech Republic, the one I know you have circled. Germany and Canada. Pre-game show starts at 5:30 Eastern. Of note, all of Canada's games in group play will all happen at that same time, our 5:30 pre-games, and drop the puck a little after 6 Eastern. And the U.S. against Austria is the nightcap tomorrow night. James and Bob back with you. And so Canada without Kirby Dach for the tournament, he's gone back to Chicago. And it's funny, Andre Tourigny did that interview with Gord Miller a few days ago and said, you know there's going to be adversity somewhere along the way. I'm not sure he expected it to happen before the tournament even started. So all new lines, and go through them, and what is his thinking with these lines?
Well, it's interesting because initially I think Tourigny was thinking, you know what, maybe I'll just make one switch. I'll just plug the hole, put somebody into the first line spot that's been vacated by Kirby Dach's injury. But instead, he's got the mix master out, and the only line that remains fully intact from the pre-tournament game is Cole Perfetti, Connor McMichael, and Peyton Krebs. Holloway and Newhook played together. They had Peltier on the line, but now Dylan Cousins moves on there, a little more heaviness on that line. Jack Quinn is now the only remaining member of the Dach Cousins line, and he's playing with Quinton Byfield and Jacob Peltier. And then, of course, on the fourth line, you've got Connor Zary, Ryan Suzuki, Dawson Mercer. Phil Tomasino is now the 13th forward, and they can dress all 13 forwards.
Quinton Byfield had a quiet tournament last year, winning gold for Canada, and that's not unexpected from a 17-year-old. Bigger things expected from him this year. And with Dach out, is he one of the guys that is likely to get more responsibility and more opportunity?
I don't think there's any question about that. And Byfield looked very impressive in the pre-tournament game against Russia. The size is obvious, but he had some real good jump in terms of his movement. He was much more physical than we've seen him play. He's put on a lot of weight in the offseason, gotten stronger. He's maybe adjusting to that a little bit in terms of his first two-step acceleration. But boy, oh boy, he was very strong in that game against the Russians, and now he'll get an opportunity on that line with Quinn to try and make Quinn and Peltier to try and make something happen.
Connor McMichael, you'll likely remember, scored 5 goals for Canada last year, including 4 massive goals. Without Dach, does he sort of become the de facto #1 offensive threat?
Well, he's certainly a game breaker. We saw that last year. All he does is score goals. He's a clutch guy that puts himself in that position. He's playing center now as opposed to the wing, which he did more of probably last year. But McMichael is a game breaker, and playing with Perfetti and Peyton Krebs, who's just a workhorse on that line in terms of doing a lot of the hard work. Perfetti and McMichael are elite offensive players. The Washington Capitol first rounder could be the game breaker. And as I said, the only line that's remained fully intact from the pre-tournament is Connor McMichael. So he'll be counted on big with Dach out of the lineup.
And again, every single Canadian forward a first-round NHL draft pick. We hope you're enjoying your Christmas day. Second period just ahead from Switzerland and Slovakia.
Nothing on the score sheet after 20 minutes of play. Switzerland and Slovakia as the 2021 World Junior gets going. Slovakia outshooting Switzerland by a margin of 12-5. The shot attempts very much in favor of Slovakia as well. 0 for 2 on the power play, and the third power play of the game for Slovakia does continue. Craig, we saw some good plays in that opening period, and a lot of them came from a 16-year-old Juraj Slafkovsky.
Yeah, you know, you think about how difficult it is to play in this tournament as a 16-year-old. He has a leading role on this Slovak team. He's skilled, he's confident, he processes the game quick, very good hands. Got to be able to play at a quick pace. Well, Slafkovsky does exactly that. Really good hands, he's got patience with the puck. A lot of times when you're a young player, the game's happening quick and you might not be as up to the speed as you need to be. That's not the case with Slafkovsky, and defensively he plays and he's got power in his game. He's a really skilled and nifty type player, and keep in mind he's only going to get better from this point on.
Eligible in 2022 and hopefully 2021 and 2022 draft, and going forward is more of the traditional drafts that we have seen over the past number of years. Second period gets going. Slovakia on the power play. 1:15 left in the man advantage. Chromiak plays it around for Slafkovsky. Back for Chromiak. Some give and go there with Makluka. Chromiak plays it back for Konashko. He'll send it down. Pass misfires as they were looking for Makluka in the slot. Short-handed try. Dollar clears it in off the backboards. It comes and right back up the ice for Slafkovsky. Stoico with him. Sends it cross ice for Konashko. Konashko works it around, gets a shot. Save made. Nice move to get around Schlapfer by Konashko. Slafkovsky. Chromiak. Back for Slafkovsky. Konashko moves to the right point. Takes the pass from Slafkovsky down for Chromiak. Rink wide, Slafkovsky the wrister, and that got blocked by Pizzulo. Verdu trying to come up with the loose puck in the corner for Switzerland. Slafkovsky in the battle. Verdu comes up with it. Power play is over. 2 power play shots for Slovakia, but this game remains 0-0, so Switzerland 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. Rocco Pizzulo, +3 in last year's World Championship in Czech Republic. Ronnie Dollar will bounce this in. Budrak plays it to center, no further, cleared right back in by Barragano. Golian puts on the brakes, tight turns against the checking of Bettini. Sent up at center, and Fight will deflect it in. Baton will scoop it to the far side. Nemitz will send it ahead for Simon Kanak. Kanak outside, inside, shot, rebound. Just tipped away from the side of the net, but a good rush by Kanak.
Very nice rush by Kanak. He's a smooth player, and as he moves up the ice here, he's got a pretty good idea of what he wants to try here. Good hands here. You see the young defenseman Nemec get caught a little bit outside reaching, and Simon Nog takes advantage of it. He doesn't really get a good shot off. It's almost like he lost a little bit of his grip on the puck at the last second.
Face-off will be in the Slovakian zone. The shots very much in favor of Slovakia. There's a high sticking penalty coming up. This was on a follow-through, but still responsible for your stick as Staha takes that one up high, and Fust will go to the penalty box.
The offensive zone. The Swiss hasn't been able to really get their,
28, minor penalty, high stick.
Get their game going together. 5-on-5. There it is, the follow-through. I'm not so sure it was the follow-through, Dennis, or after when he comes back on the backhand side of it that got him the high stick there. Do you have any of that type of a backswing when you play golf?
Way too high for me. Body doesn't want to turn that much anymore.
Ray Ferraro with a new knee.
Oh, yes.
He says he's going okay now. Back training, getting adjusted to that.
Yeah. So is that one more iron in his bag now, or how does that work? Side of the net, Ronnie Dollar, one of the penalty killers for Switzerland. And now Slafkovsky will take it. Fourth power play of the game for Slovakia. Makluka. Kanashko on for Soika, and he'll propel it on back for Slafkovsky. Tight quarters there, good forechecking and some good pressure. Short-handed by Switzerland. And Schlachter. Slafkovsky, Soika in for Makluka, rebound. Chromiak couldn't get to it quick enough. Turned over inside the line by Jobin, and now Chromiak will control, but he'll skate it back out at center. Chromiak gets bumped and knocked down on the play. Slap shot way wide by Soika. And now another penalty coming up, and that will do it for the power play. We'll get some 4-on-4.
Slafkovsky for interference. He wasn't happy about being called on that.
Both interference.
Goaltender interference is the penalty.
He's going to the net here. He kind of gets bumped. I mean, I don't see that as a penalty. I really don't. And I agree with.
He's with you.
The youngster. He was doing everything he could. When you watch him go to the net there, he's trying to completely avoid the goaltender, but it becomes an unavoidable situation, and that to me is an interference.
Barragano to center, sends it in, 4-on-4 for 45 seconds. Golian for Slovakia, goes cross ice for Mudrak. Nice cross ice pass by Mudrak. Kalenic giving chase. Kalenic squeezes his way into the Swiss zone, sends it back at the line. Mudrak sails one in high and wide. And on the loose puck is Shanton. Plays it for Barragano. Barragano will send it in. In on the forecheck was Marchand, chipped away from him, controlled by Staha. Staha will send this all the way down the ice, and it was still 4-on-4 as Fust just steps out of the box.
Closed captioning of the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship is brought to you in part by Bet99.net, Canada's newest destination for free sports information, odds, and casino. Every game starts at Bet99.
Germany-Finland, our next game here. Germany will play again tomorrow against Canada. That will be the opener for Canada. First time in 22 years, 22 tournaments, that Canada does not play on opening day. And that, of course, because of the earlier start to this championship. It normally gets underway on Boxing Day and getting going here on Christmas Day.
And for Germany, and we'll talk about it more this afternoon, but because of the protocols, the health protocols in place, they'll only be able to ice 5 defensemen and 9 forwards in the game today and tomorrow versus Finland and Canada. So they were up against it to begin with. I would say it's even more so.
Well, and they haven't been able to stay. There's a jam up on the short side. And Notatsky down to hang on. And the faceoff will be in the Slovakian zone, but they haven't been able to practice, so they did skate yesterday, and so conditioning might be
and they skated this morning. They skated this morning, but here's the play. Nice little play here by Canuck. He tries to maneuver his body and then at the same time pull the puck with his hands. He's got good hands, but Letowski does a really nice job of just staying right with him and making sure he can't get to a more advantageous position.
9 goals and 34 points for Simon Canuck with the Portland Winterhawks in the 1920 NHL season. And quick shot to the far side, and that's snared by the southpaw as Dario Allenspach let that one go quickly.
Well, I know that we talked at the outset about Samuel Halavai and third World Junior Tournament, but, you know, Simon Letowski has been very good in the net, and he got tested early in the game. He had to come up with a couple of saves on some sloppy play, and after going without some action, he's been solid.
Shot from the line, Pizzulo let that one fly, that got deflected. Letotsky in 2019 did play in the Malenko-Gretzky Cup. Was also in the U18 tournament. Kept it at the line, long shot. Letotsky to save, loose puck. Chance for Fust, and he couldn't drive that one through. And now the power play for Switzerland comes to an end. 3 shots on that man advantage for Switzerland. Offside is the call.
Well, here's the shot here by the defenseman, and Mudryk gets right in the way, kind of ducks. And Letotsky has to find that puck. Not a bad move by Mudryk. He's a young guy, values his looks.
Well, the other this was a better option than the other one.
Well, and the guy behind you with those big pillows on his legs, he's got a mask, right?
Exactly. That's his job. Kanashko on for Stoika. Stoika for Kashlik, and Kashlik couldn't catch up to it. Delamont will clear it back out. Little bit of room for Marchand, and the shot stopped by Letotsky. Guggenheim in from the line, back for Lino Marchand. Gets in a battle, gets knocked down by Messar. Off his knees, continues the fight, takes the puck loose, chipped in front of the net. A little bit in tight for Jobin, and he missed the net with it. But some good work. Down low by Switzerland. Long lead pass. Chance now, Kashlik. Great play by Delamont to get back and force him to the outside and prevent him from getting a shot away. Staha starts the attack back for Slovakia. Chromiak takes it outside, in tight, got to the forehand. Tried to jam it on Faton, could not. Play along the boards. Lukowski with the wrister. Save made by Faton. Loose puck grabbed off by Jobin. We have an injured player in behind the play. Is cleared all the way back down the ice.
That was Keanu DeRums. He found his way off the ice, being hobbled.
Bush carries it in. Golian squeezes him out. Ray Fuss, the son of John Fuss, who had one time coached this team. Born in Montreal. Letotsky plays it up the boards. Kananika on it. For Canuck. Canuck battles for it. Knocked away from him. Up the boards. Chip. Trying to get chased there was Lukowski. Would have been an odd man rush, but he couldn't catch up to it.
He was at the end of a shift, so he didn't have as much juice in there as he would have liked. I'm really impressed with Lukowski. 16-year-old player that plays in the manner that he does. And, you know, you go back to Slovakia, and, you know, Eric Chernik, who won a Stanley Cup right here in this building with the Tampa Bay Lightning, he played as a youngster as well for Slovakia at the World Junior Championship. Really good, solid NHL player. Obviously, a key contributor to the Stanley Cup for the Tampa Bay Lightning. But tell you what, you're right. Lukowski looks like a very impressive young player. Doesn't look like one he is.
Yelush for Kalenic. Kalenic takes it wide against Meyer. Drops it back. And a slap shot from Oliver Turin that missed the target. Dardu in the corner, trying to work it free. For Switzerland, it's jammed up in behind the net. On it is Meyer, and Meyer will play it up at center. We near the midway mark of period number 2. Ray Fuss sends this around the boards, and it will make its way all the way back out at center. Dardu for Rocco Puzzulo. Puzzulo. Valentin Hofer plays it behind the net. Hofer heads to the front of the net. Scramble in front of the net. Hofer trying to get a stick on it. Marchand whacking at it. Marchand had it and then lost it. And that will allow Knoschko to send it all the way down the ice. Doesn't have enough to get for icing. Delamont almost turned it over. In fact, he does. Yendik circles out of the corner with Messar. Stoika, the other forward on that line, kept in at the blue line by Staha. In for Stoika. And finally grabbed off and skated back up by Elder Schlapfer. Plays it through for Marchand. Schlapfer on the loose puck. Back to the line for Barragano. Barragano fakes. Gets his way around Yendik. Gets his way around Stoika. Plays it back up top. Marchand the wrister. Latotsky turned it aside. And Staha's on the loose puck for Messar. And Messar will play it up for Nemitz. He'll dish it off. And a quick wrist shot from Kashlik is gloved and held by Faton. No score as the tournament gets going.
Juraj Elias, really good defensive position here against Lionel Marchand. The puck finds its way to the front of the net, but Elias uses that big body, gets his hip, and he forces Marchand to have to come through that body, and that's his really good, strong defensive play by Elias there. Don't be reaching in. The other guy can get an advantage, but he's got to come through your body. Good luck.
Especially when you're 6'4", as Elias is.
And Marchand's a big guy too, so.
Kananika plays it in behind the Slovakian net. Simon Canuck trying to battle for it. Puck squirts loose. It's played back in by Bettini for Canuck. Canuck gets double teamed. Moonrak is after a bouncing puck and manages to come up with it and starts back up the ice. Feeds it for Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky has Makluka driving to the net, but offside called against Slovakia.
Well, we talked about Switzerland and Slovakia, you know, not having a real easy time of it scoring, and we're certainly seeing an example of that in this game. The goaltenders have looked steady and solid, though. They've been on it, Dennis, when they've needed to be on it. They're a part of it, too, in keeping the puck out of the net.
Next up for Slovakia, Canada on the 27th, Germany on the 28th, and then Finland on the 30th to wrap up their round-robin portion of this tournament. Biaksa plays this down low. Cleared out at center. Yelush dishes off. Mrazek with the wrister. That went high and wide. This gets chipped back out by Fust. And back for it is Knoschko. We'll go across ice. Nemitz will play this rink wide. Deflected off the stick of Fight. Fight now going in after a loose puck. After Pizzulo lost his footing in behind the play. Curran tried to play it up. It was intercepted. And Valentin Hofer couldn't get a shot away. Yendik tried to carry it in, sends it in, turns. Hofer will try and deflect this in, does not. And as a result, an icing call here against Switzerland. Face-off will come all the way back. Look at Robert Petrovicki. One of his scratches today is his son Ryan.
Got to do what's best for the team.
Yep.
Well, we know the Petrovickis pretty well. You had Ronald at Tri-City, Dennis, when you were the manager there. I had him in Calgary when I was the manager there.
We had him and Pavel Kriz come in as our two Europeans. They were both the same age. Kriz looked about 22. And Petrovicki looked about 12. Long pass up the middle. That got turned aside and carried right back up by Budrak. Budrak with the wrist shot. Delamont had that go off his shin pad, comes off the backboards, and Faton will pounce on it and hang on. No score here in this opening match.
Got to be on your toes at all times. Matej Kashlik is absolutely on his toes here, coming back defensively, which what looks like a 2-on-1 and a chance for a scoring chance, but Kashlik never hesitated when he was on the other side of the blue line in the offensive zone. Terrific play coming back to negate any opportunity.
No score in this game. Take a second here and wish everyone Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, be safe. Kanonika on the loose puck, chips it out to center. Konashko back for Slovakia. Konashko being watched by Canuck. Came loose. Bettini tried to get a handle on it, couldn't, scramble in front of the net. Kanonika throws it into the paint. And Lutotsky gets a glove on it.
I love that Samuel Konashko's confident with the puck, but at this point in time in his development, he's not quick enough to beat pressure. So, you know, you love the fact that he's going to hold the puck and try to make a play with the puck, but when you lack that real explosive quickness, you're going to run yourself into problems, and that's exactly what happened there. That's totally developmental for the Columbus Blue Jacket draft pick, but you got to recognize where you're at also in your development and who you're up against.
Deanna Durungs is back out for Switzerland after getting shaken up on his last shift, number 19. In red, turned over, Yelich carries it in, has Mrazek with him. Good save by Faton. On-man rush for Slovakia. Long lead pass, Jobin. Corrals it and carries it in. Jobin around Staha. Tried to get it to the front of the net, couldn't get around Nemitz. Fight looking for Mrazek off his stick, and Fight will play it back into his own end. Pizzulo back up for Fight. Almost intercepted, but they get it through. Fust trying to get that to his forehand. It got away from him. Vardu lets the shot go. Save up high by Lutotsky, and he will hang on to it. Chances at both ends of the ice. Good save by Faton.
What a great scoring chance for Slovakia here. Yelich gets under the stick of Fiedler, and then he attacks here and feathers a pass perfectly over, but Faton reads it perfectly. But it's a really good play by Noah Meyer as well, because he forces that pass, which allows Faton to make the read on the play and move over, able to shut down the net.
Vardu shot from the line, blocked in front. And right back up the ice for Yendik. Yendik will spin that around, looking for Elias. Elias tried to get it back to the line, and he does. Goalie and back for Elias. Elias gets to the forehand, lets that go. That got blocked by Rocco Pizzulo. And now taken by Biasca. He'll play it out to center ice and fired right back in by Mudrak. And Pizzulo there for Switzerland. On for Vardu. Vardu will play this up the middle, gets deflected by Fust, taken by Mudrak. And he'll send it right back in. Another strange carom off the corner. And we'll have a line change for Slovakia. Pizzulo will dump it in. He'll head to the bench on the change for Switzerland. Konashko. Lead pass. Kashlik will play it through for Stoika. Stoika gets wrapped up there with Schlapfer. Messer up with the loose puck. Schlapfer giving chase on Messer. Messer gets some help there from Kashlik. Kashlik trying to spin away from Schlapfer. Back to the line. A wrist shot got blocked by Delamont. He'll clear it up at center. And again on the backtrack, Kashlik got back to knock it away. Gets it up for Stoika. Stoika inside the line, no further. And Canuck. Right back for Switzerland. Little fake. Finds some room. Dishes it off, and a quick shot from Kanonika. Turned away by Lutotsky. Stuffed around the boards by Kashlik. Kashlik settles it down, spins, tries to find some room. Up for Kroniak. Chromiak works it to the Switzerland line. Shanton there to break it up. At the blue line kept in. Staha for Nemitz. Nemitz the shot through traffic. Don't think Faton saw it, but it went wide. Now controlled and played back for Staha. And intercepted by Bottini. Tried to clear, could not. Slafkovsky for Chromiak. Chromiak tried to play it back to the far point for Nemitz. And off his stick, and it slithers its way out to center. Slafkovsky deflects it in. Makluka to the forehand, in tight. And a save made by Faton. Slafkovsky, Makluka. Slafkovsky tied up in the corner. Wrapped up there by Cedric Fiedler. Plays it back at the line, but the one-touch pass intended for Golian comes off the heel of a stick and out the center, and Golian will drive it right back in. And right back out, and this will be an icing call.
You know the great Claude Ruel, and when I say the great Claude Ruel, you know,
yes,
really great coach, won the 1969 Stanley Cup with Montreal Canadiens. He told me, he said, Craig, just watch the guy that has the puck all the time. That's usually the good player. You're right, Slafkovsky, he has the puck all the time.
We had
and he finds ways to get it.
We had Lindsay Vallis and Turner Stevenson that were Montreal draft picks, and Claude Ruel would come out and every once in a while would ask if he could take the two players out for a little extra skate. Taken wide to the short side, and that is grabbed. And we'll get a face-off in the Slovakian zone. Short side try there that did not make its way to the front of the net. Fiedler tried to jam that through.
He worked alongside Scotty Bowman, but he used to work in the practices with the players, and he always say, like if it was Lindsay and Turner, hey, my Lindsay, my Turner, my boy. Like he loved working with the players. He was just a fan. He loved hockey. Just loved being around the players. He wanted to help each and every player be the best they could, and I was really fortunate when I first started out scouting that I got to spend time around people the likes of Claude Ruel.
That's center for Jakub Kalenic. Elias in a battle there with Marchand. A couple of big bodies at it. Cleared away by Konashko. For Kalenic. Bichar lets this come near side. Yendik will bounce it in. And Pizzulo will go back into the final 90 seconds now of period number 2. Latotsky will come out and play this. Latotsky for Bichar. Bichar sends it up to the blue line for Elias. Back for Bichar. Cross for Staha. And Staha will sail a nice pass back for Bichar. Will play it through. Nessar busted his way in, but couldn't do much with the puck as he ran out of room. Nemitz. Back for Staha up the middle. Nice little one-touch pass. Stoika will carry it in. Stoika, the long wrist shot, and that deflects up and out of play.
If I'm Robert Petrovicki behind that Slovak bench, I'm really happy. They're moving the puck quickly out of their zone. They're trying to make some plays with some streaking players coming underneath the puck. You know, they've had some chances on the power play, but, you know, this is a real strong step in the right direction for Slovakia after a pre-tourney game that didn't look pretty in any way, shape, or form.
And we talked about there's a long wrister by Mudrak, grabbed and held. We talked about that the other night, that part of his challenge was going to be to get his players ready for this game, and they obviously were able to bury that one, leave it behind them, and get ready for this. They've been good tonight.
Yep.
Built some first period momentum off some power plays, but find themselves without a tally so far. Konashko. Good play, forces Bottino to the outside. Back to the line it comes. Wrist shot, scramble at the side of the net. Canuck is on it. Canuck turns to the forehand, played it to the front of the net. Fiedler will hold it in on the near side. Fiedler plays it back into the corner. Canonica lost his footing, but gets it back at the line. Fiedler goes cross ice. Long shot from the left point center. Canuck in front. And Latoshki in the dying seconds of period number 2 makes an excellent save off Canuck.
If you don't track the puck, if you're not following the play, you cannot make the play. Simon Latoshki does an unbelievably great job. There's his head watching, and then he explodes off the goal line, shuts down the net on Simon Knock. There's nowhere for him to go. As long as Latoshki doesn't open up, that puck ain't going in the net. But that's outstanding goaltending by Latoshki. Looking to his left, and then once he sees that play come there, he explodes off that goal line, closes down the net. Very well done.
Marco Bayer, the coach of Switzerland, with 3 seconds left, has pulled his netbinder for the extra attacker with the face-off deep in the Slovakian zone. And it will be Alan Spock who will be looking to win the face-off. He does, but a good defensive play by Kalenic to break it up. And well, got a smile from the coach. 40 minutes done here in Game 1 of the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship in Edmonton, and scoreless after 40 between Slovakia and Switzerland.
For more than 80 years, Esso has supported Canadian hockey with programs like the Esso Medals of Achievement, Esso Fun Days, and the Esso Cup through our long-standing partnership with Canada's national teams. Esso, proud premier partner of Hockey Canada.
The NBA on TSN continues Sunday. 3 games on tap, beginning with a clash between the Mavs and Kawhi and the Clippers. The action gets underway 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, and rolls all day long on TSN. James Duthie and Bob McKenzie back with intermission number 2. The last 3 games involving these 2 teams at the World Juniors. Last year, 9 goals scored. The one before that, 10 goals scored. 10 goals scored. We have nada.
Come on, boys. Let's get it.
Yeah. Come on. First day here. We'd like a goal.
I will say this. I thought Slovakia dominated the first period, largely on the strength of those 3 power plays that they had. But even at 5-on-5, I thought they were carrying the play more to Switzerland in the first period. But in the second period, it became much more even, and you saw chances at both ends, and both goaltenders stepped up and made some really good saves. Now, it's got to be a little more frustrating for the Slovaks, maybe, that they've not been able to put a puck in the net, because they didn't get one in their pre-tournament game either. So you wonder, the longer they go, the more frustrated they might get at not being able to generate. But boy, you don't get much of a better chance than that one right on the doorstep. So, and even right down to the dying seconds of this period, both teams were generating some decent offensive chances and making something happen. So the Swiss almost were able to slip one by the goaltender there, but no go. So we'll see what happens here in the third.
We know that Canada's Kirby Dach is out for this tournament, already back in Chicago having tests on that wrist, which there are some tweets out there. It looks absolutely awful what happened to Kirby Dach. Kirby Dach has also tweeted, "Merry Christmas, everybody, and hope you're having an amazing holiday season. Just wanted to say thank you for all of the support and the well wishes." And you know, our attention automatically turns to Team Canada and the repercussions and the lineup changes because of Kirby Dach's injury. But let's not forget a guy who wanted to come back and play for Canada, who lobbied the Blackhawks. There's not a lot of kids who played in the NHL that want to go back to the World Juniors. A lot of the time they've moved on from that. Dach desperately wanted to come back and get his shot, and it ends before the tournament starts. He will remain the captain throughout. We await goal number 1 in Switzerland, Slovakia.
Premier partner of Hockey Canada, Tim Hortons has supported minor hockey for over 35 years through the Timbits Hockey Program and its commitment to developing teamwork, confidence, and social skills in an inclusive environment. Timbits Hockey, where the first goal is having fun.
How about your mom and dad? Are they watching?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Merry
they're watching.
Christmas.
Yeah, I wish them Merry Christmas and all the friends in Brantford.
Hello everyone, Wayne Gretzky here. On behalf of my entire family, I want to wish everyone happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, be safe, be smart, God bless.
And we wish the great one and his family a Merry Christmas. I hope you caught the interview on our pregame show. I'm sure tsn.ca will have it up. Gretzky talking about that game 43 years ago where he had 6 points on Christmas Day against the Czechoslovakia. And I'm sure he's told those stories a million times, but it always feels like the first time he's telling it. He has such passion. Of course, up in the rafter with all those other Oilers greats. You saw Yari Curry up there. You think about the great Finnish names, Jari Kurri, Esa Tikkanen, Teemu Selanne, Brad Lambert. Oh, not quite. We will see a Canadian boy sort of playing for Finland today.
That would be Lambert, as in the Saskatchewan Lamberts from Saskatoon. His dad, Ross, in fact, is at his mom's at Ross's mom's place in Saskatoon, quarantining in the basement and watching all the games on TV. And of course, his uncle Lane is the associate coach of the New York Islanders, along with Barry Trotz. This kid just turned 17 in the past week, and he's been playing top 6 minutes lately in the Finnish Elite League for JYP. He's put up 4 goals, 7 points, playing extremely well, getting some power play time. And he's expected to have a top 6 role on this Finnish team today in their game against Germany. He'll be playing on a line with Robbie Järventie and Juuso Parssinen, probably for all intents and purposes, the second line. So, yeah, he's a Canadian kid. He did play Pee-wee hockey in Saskatoon, played spring hockey for a few years in Saskatchewan, but his mom, Heli, is a Finn, and he's a Finn and all in, and really one of the top prospects for the 2022 NHL entry draft.
And the Finns will be heavily favored against the Germans, a depleted German roster, a bunch of their players still in quarantine. They'll have 9 forwards and 5 defensemen, 14 skaters in the lineup. But they do have Tim Stützle. Sens fans will be watching this one carefully.
Yeah, very much so. It's nice to see him back playing because he had that broken hand or broken wrist earlier in the season, but he's back from that. And it's a real difficult task for him and the German team because you're right, they're understaffed and they've been spending all this time in quarantine, so they've had precious little time to practice. But this guy is a big-time player. We saw him last year, a big coming-out party at last year's World Junior Championship. He's a dynamic player. He commands the puck when he's on the ice. He can make plays. He can score goals. He's an elite-level skater. And while Finland has a deeper team, and obviously because of the pandemic stuff that Germany's gone through and they're so short-staffed, Finland's heavily favored, but you've got to be careful when this guy's on the ice because he is such a game breaker. He and J.J. Peterka, the Buffalo Sabres second-round pick, will be playing on the Germans' top line. And I know their coach is going to try and play it somewhat cautious in terms of conserving energy and not trying to get too far outside of themselves. But you know a gamer like Stützle is going to want to be shot out of a cannon here today. 43
minutes or something like that when they only have 3 lines to go by. Again, Finland and Germany is our next game on TSN. And don't forget, we also have a feature on Tim Stützle coming your way in the second intermission of that game. And then later on tonight, Russia and the United States, the nightcap on day 1 of the World Juniors, where we still await our first goal. We are through 40 minutes. Slovakia and Switzerland, a ton of chances, as Bob was talking about, just none finding mesh yet.
Walterdale Bridge here in Edmonton. The weather has been absolutely terrific. We haven't been able to spend any time outside because of our quarantine, but being in the bubble, but not a lot of snow. People in Edmonton very much enjoying this time of the year and enjoying this tournament. This game still looking for its opening tally. There's the shots on goal. 12-5 Slovakia in the first and 10-9 Switzerland in the second. You add that up, 21-15, and we've seen some very good goaltending at both ends of the ice here.
Yeah, alert goaltending, you know, where the goaltenders, you know, a play unfolds and they have to be ready for it. And they've absolutely been ready at both ends of the rink. Faton has been outstanding. And again, you look at the economy of movement, really, really good. And Latkowski has been just as good at the other end, including in the last seconds of the second period where he had to come up big on Simon Canuck. This was the 2-on-1 where Faton was terrific, but the control, the composure, their ability to keep the puck from those multiple chances been outstanding by both these goaltenders, and a big reason why it's still 0-0.
It was a busy year last year for Simon Latkowski, the netminder at the other end of the ice. As we look at Faton, Latkowski was part of the U18 team in Sweden, the Helenka Gretzky Cup in the Czech Republic, part of the Euro Winter Festival in Sarajevo, where he put up terrific numbers. And Latkowski gets the start in this game for Slovakia. So the third period gets going. Chanton up for Marchand. Marchand with the shot turned away. But Kotze got a piece of that. And now flipped all the way back down the ice, and this will be an icing call against Slovakia.
Well, I want to thank my friend Peter Bondra, the great Slovak player, 500 goals in the NHL. And, you know, this tournament is broadcast all around the world, and, you know, the countries that tune in, it's a great opportunity for us to broadcast you. But Peter sent me a note. He sent me the correct pronunciation of Simon, and I hope I got this right, Peter. Latkowski. Correct. So, thank you, Peter. Talk about brilliant Slovak players.
Yes.
Whoa, is he brilliant.
Round the boards, Mudrak on the loose puck. Just no room up that far side for fight. And now off the glass and out the center, knocked down by Noah Meyer, and this will be a glove pass as it went from Meyer to Kananika.
You know, you get these silly ideas in your head, Dennis. So is it a hand pass or a glove pass? Is it, or is it both?
Well, the hand's in the glove. Yeah. I'll work on that. I'll do a little deciphering later today.
Oh, you've been doing some deciphering in other areas today, too.
Cleared up the boards, batted out by Bisak, going up back in. It goes. Verdu plays it around. Fust goes after it. Biaska heads to the front of the net off that back side. And it's off a stick, and Slovakia will control. Kromiak gets to center, one-hands it into the Swiss zone. Guggenheim off the backboards. DeRuns will play this in, bounces around. Ronnie Dollar pokes it free. DeRuns is on it. Guggenheim takes the pass, sends it back up top. Delamont lets the long wrister go wide. This gets sent back at the line by Jobin and got away from Guggenheim, and he'll send it across for Delamont and back for Guggenheim. Deflected in by Dollar. Latkowski will play it around the boards.
By Latkowski. Very nice composure.
Nemitz will send this in. Stoika tried to play it back, deflected away. Back forward, Valentin Hofer. Hofer in the offensive zone, puts on the brakes. Gets some help there from Schlapfer. And now it gets turned over, and Messar will keep the center ice, get to the red line, and dump it deep. Dominic Soika couldn't corral it off the backboards. Marchand, through for Schlapfer, gets away from him. He'll get a little bit of help in his own end of the ice. Back up for Marchand from Noah Meyer, and slapped right back in by Oliver Turan. Teams are in the middle of a change. Yendik gets it in tight. Sharp angle try there. And Faton down to make the save off Kalenic. Back for Canuck. Canuck takes it into the Slovakian zone. Good play by Canuck. We'll keep an eye on Canuck. Canuck will send this up at center. Golian trying to play it through for Kalenic, who was in behind him. Kalenic stays on it. Kalenic gets pinned to the backboards by Rocco Pizzulo. And then Pizzulo gets pinned to the boards with Yendik. And still on the loose puck is Kalenic. Got taken down by Verdu. Biaska tried to chip it off the boards. It got blocked. Does get cleared out at center. And Konashko brings it back in. Got spun around there by Verdu. Took a look at both officials. And play goes on.
You look at both officials with a guilty look.
In across at center. Alan Spock will play it in. Alan Spock gets it back. Tried to play it behind the net. Pass got intercepted. Guggenheim couldn't hold this in. And Guggenheim will hustle back for Switzerland. One of the 5 returning players for Switzerland, Bastian Guggenheim, was captain of the Switzerland the U17 team back in 2017. Delamont off the boards. Nemetz trying to clear for Slovakia, kept in by Delamont, came to the front of the net, got kicked away by Staha. Biaska goes after it, gets some help. Fust couldn't get a stick on it for Switzerland. He cleared up for Yelush. They'll play it back for Staha. 5.5 gone by here in period number 3 in a scoreless game. Chromiak at center couldn't get a stick on it. Now he does. And then gives way to the checking of Ronnie Dollar. Dollar trying to work it down low, got bumped. Golian is on it. Golian up for Budrak. Budrak will chip it to the line and out. And Shanton will play it back into his own zone. Nika Barragano up the center ice, no further. Grabbed off by Meyer. Meyer gets bumped there by Mudrak. And it's around for Golian. Golian trying to clear, and this deflects up and out of play. No score here in Edmonton.
Well, there was a really good one-on-one play here. Simon Canuck trying to attack Kanashko, and Kanashko stick on puck and maintains his body position and really denies Simon Canuck from being able to get to the net. And Simon Canuck is a good skater with good leverage and the size, but Samuel Kanashko with a brilliant defensive play.
Marchand with the long wrister. Save made by Lukotsky, and he will hang on to it. A long shot by Marchand, and Lukotsky, who catches with the right hand, hangs on to it. Face-off will be to his right. No score in this game, and we'll try the jinx rule right away. Long shot from the line, that got blocked in front. And we'll get a stoppage in play.
For 4 years, teams have done amazing things to raise the Chevrolet Good Deeds Cup. But this year, ideas triumph. What would you do with $100,000 for your community?
Crease violation is the reason for the stoppage in play. So, there has been 4 scoreless games in World Junior Championship history.
I remember one, and it was in the gold medal game in Skellefteå, and it was a 0-0, and I thought that the game would never end.
3 were played before there was a shootout in overtime. They finished 0-0. December 31st, 1995, Sweden and Czech Republic. December 31st, 96, Sweden and Russia. December 27, 1998, Canada, Slovakia. And then January 4th, 2000, Czech Republic and Russia. And that one was played to completion, and Czech Republic won in a shootout.
I remember Archie Henderson, works with the Edmonton Oilers now, and their director of scouting, along with Tyler Wright. And I remember him saying the game was played completely backwards. Everybody just kept, they were terrific and always, you know, backing up and backing up and backing up. He thought the shootout was going to start with players starting backwards.
Another name from the past, from our days back with the Victoria Cougars. She was part of our team. Rister, that is grabbed by Faton, and he'll hang on as Mrazek let it fly. So your average for scoreless games is 1 in every 322 games, because there's been 1,200. John Prober coming up with that one. 1,288 total games, 4 scoreless. So there's your over and under.
How many periods?
Hang on, I'll take the shoes off.
How many minutes?
Shanton will send this in. Rakotsi turns it aside. Mrazek works his way through center. That got taken away. The cross-ice pass that was intended for fight. Bichar back into his own end. Bichar being chased there by Valentin Hofer. Dishes it off. Yelush down low to help out. Back for Bichar. On for Yelush. On for Fight. Works it into the Switzerland zone. Fight to the backboards with Fiedler. Comes loose for Yelush. Yelush trying to get to the forehand. Leaves for Chromiak. Nice move by Chromiak. Then he couldn't get a shot away, and now Chromiak draws a penalty as he gets flattened in front of the net by Fiedler. So Slovakia to the power play again.
Martin Chromiak's a really strong skater with the speed and the quickness.
Quick, number 23. 2 minutes, interference.
He's got an attack mentality. And you know, as he becomes stronger and more physically mature, he's going to be able to hold off opponents a lot better. But it's that mindset of, I'm going to attack. And by attacking, you not only get yourself some opportunities, but you also force opponents into vulnerable positions, and in that case, draws a penalty.
Slovakia 0 for 4 with the man advantage in this game. 8 power play shots. Chromiak looks for some skating room. Sends it back. Knoshko chips it in, goes in after it. Chipped up high. Ends up on the stick of Makluka. Makluka plays it back for Knoshko, back for Chromiak. Chromiak back for Knoshko. Slafkovsky with the shot. Chromiak the rebound. And it's off of Pizzulo and over top the net. Slafkovsky works it in behind the net, stays with it. The 16-year-old Chromiak for Stoika. Stoika back for Chromiak. Makluka plays give and go with Chromiak. Wrister from Slafkovsky, and that's turned aside. Chromiak. Knoshko back for Chromiak. Slafkovsky looking for the tip in front, just beyond the reach of Chromiak. Chromiak for Stoika, trying to pull it to his forehand, did. Good save by Faton. Good puck control here by Slovakia. Chromiak, Wrister to the short side, that went wide, and it's around the boards and out to center ice.
Slovakia changed up their power play a little bit. They had Slafkovsky working off the right wing hash into that part of the ice. They put him at the point and put Chromiak down here. Different looks, trying to create different chances.
Trying to find something on the power play. 3 shots with that man advantage. 0 for 5 now with 11 power play shots. The statistics on the Slovakian power play in this game.
We talked about the goaltenders coming into this period 0-0. Well, you know, we're going to get a replay of Thibaut Fanton. He got lucky off a shot by Chromiak. He never saw it, or it would have been a goal.
So we'll give some kudos to the puck penalty killing unit for Switzerland. 5 for 5. Canuck with the shot, rebound. Latozzi down. Centered in front. Guggenheim trying to hold it in. It gets away from him. Into the back half now of period number 3. Mudrak. He'll get to the red line. Tried to chip it deep. Didn't get all the way down the ice. And Noah Meyer will control. Meyer, smooth skating 18-year-old, eligible for the upcoming NHL draft. He'll send it in. Kalenic trying to work it free off the near side for Slovakia. Fust is on it. Fust gets away from Mudrak. Ray Fust for Meyer. Meyer through traffic, hit a body in front. May have hit Hofer. And now sent all the way down the ice, and an icing call against Slovakia.
Well, Thibaut Fanton has been very good in this game, but he got very fortunate off a shot by Martin Chromiak. He doesn't even know where it's coming from, and Chromiak gets it right to the net, and it goes off the left arm of Fanton. He wasn't even looking at Chromiak. He didn't know where the puck was, but sometimes good fortune works to your advantage as well, and in that case, it worked against Chromiak and worked for Fanton.
Yeah, Don's had a very good year in Lugano, 9-3 on the season. Richter through traffic. That may have made its way to the front of the net. Barragano let it go. Shant on the shot. That misses on the blocker side. Cleared to the line, but not out. Wrist shot from the high slot from Jobin. That never got through. And now gets cleared up at center and slipped back down the ice. And another icing call against Slovakia. Switzerland starts to crank it up here a little bit in the third.
Well, they have a tired Slovak group out there. You know, you're looking at David Mudrak. He's got the stick on the knees, and now they're doing all the delay tactics. Now Robert Petrovicki, he recognizes he has a tired group out there, and he calls a timeout. Now, this is not allowed in the NHL.
Right.
You're not allowed to call a timeout on an icing. That is not the case in the IIHF. But
timeout, Slovakia.
There's no strategy here. This is just get your breath, young men, and get ready out there. I mean, number 4, David Mudrak, I mean, he was gassed.
To the point in this game where a goal would be very large. Break the icing here.
I think the next goal is going to be important.
Yes, and the next one after that, if there is more than one. But one might be enough to win you this hockey game.
It might be. And it's looking that way. You know, with 7:49, the Gord Miller jinx hasn't come into play yet for the goaltenders.
We have to give that another run here in a couple of minutes. Puck not drop 30, they'll do it all over again. 5 minutes of overtime and then a shootout, should we get to that point. Elias takes a chop at it, kept in by Fiedler. Another face-off win for Switzerland. Bumped on the far side is Kananika. Stays on the puck though, gets it loose. Dollar tried a shot, tried to get that through traffic, couldn't do it. Ronnie Dollar battling in behind the net, comes up with it. Looking out front for Simon Canuck. Dollar fakes the drop pass, gets to the forehand, just missed low glove. Fiedler. So now Switzerland starting a line change. And as they have Slovakia hemmed in a little bit here.
Well, this was the Slovak group that was out here after those icings where Robert Petrovicki took a timeout. Well, Switzerland got tired and they had to make a line change, which allowed the heat to be alleviated a little bit on Slovakia.
Good play by Yendik there. Looked as though he was going to try and skate it out and then just quickly circle back behind his own net. And that allowed his 4 teammates to get to the bench on the change.
Well, he took a look and he saw that there were Swiss players going to make a change as well. Really heads-up play.
Messar sends it into the corner for Kashlik. Kashlik had to get away from him. Cleared up at center, now a race for it. Bichar with Fust in pursuit. Kanashko will take the loose puck in behind his own net. 3rd-round pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets. The CHL draft pick of the Vancouver Giants in 19. CHL draft pick of the Seattle Thunderbirds in 2020. But is playing in Finland, his 3rd year there with the U20 team. Centered out front, just tipped away. And Jobin tried to get that to the front of the Slovakian net. Mrazek carries it back. Centered in front of the net. Score! Off the post and in for Roman Fight. And Slovakia has opened the scoring in this game with 5:43 left in regulation.
Well, we've talked about the 16-year-old Juraj Slavkovsky. tell you what, Simo Nemec makes a great play in the neutral zone, but he doesn't stop, he doesn't hesitate. Here he is here now, getting the puck out of his own zone, gets it up, and now he recognizes and he moves to the opening, gets the puck, and now off of this pass and play, ends up for the first goal. But that is a terrific play by Nemec that leads to that goal by Fife. 16-year-old defenseman. We talked about the importance that they're going to have to play in this tournament, and what a heads-up, confident play by the young defenseman.
D'Angelo Banges couldn't get there quick enough. You can backtrack this goal all the way back to the timeout that Robert Petrovic called, and then the play by Yendik. There's a chance for Chromiak. Never did get the shot through. Golian sends it down deep. Controlled by Slafkovsky. Makluka to the backboards as well for Slovakia. Slafkovsky trying to keep it deep in the Swiss zone. Cleared up through center by Dollar, and this will be icing called against Switzerland.
You know, it's obviously we see the finish, but I love the confidence of the young defenseman, Simo Nemec. Again, real heads up. He delays, he doesn't get ahead of himself, but he recognizes, hey, I have an opportunity here, takes advantage, throws it to the net. And Roman Fife coming to the front there, picking up that puck, makes no mistake.
Nemec and Mrazek, the assists on the tally that came at 14-17. And now under 5 left in regulation. In a 1-goal game, this gets deflected at center by Kashlik and ends up out of play. There's a smile, and why not? It's 1-0. The Finland team making its way to the arena here in Edmonton. That is our next game, Germany against Finland. A lot of NHL draft picks on that Finland squad.
A couple more that are going to be drafted. You know, NHL, son of an NHLer, Samuel Helenius, is playing in the tournament. Really well-regarded player. And Brad Lambert, whose uncle Lane Lambert won a Stanley Cup with the Washington Capitals. Currently with Barry Trotz on the New York Islanders coaching staff now.
Lane and his brother Ross played for us in Saskatoon. Yeah. Ross is the dad of Brad.
Yep. Ross went over to Finland, and
yes,
you know, Brad is he's Finnish with a Canadian name and Canadian roots. A real good, young, promising player. You know, we've talked about Slafkovsky here. We just talked about the fantastic play by Nemec. Brad Lambert's a bright young player, star in the making.
So that game at 4 o'clock local, shot by Robert Pizzuto. Now we have a penalty coming to Konashko. As he gets a little aggressive on the far side boards with Noah Delamont. And Switzerland will go to the power play for just the second time in this game.
Samuel Konashko had a boarding penalty in the preliminary game versus Czech
Slovakia,
Republic.
20,
and clearly right here, like, Noah Delamont doesn't do anything. He's already got his back to Konashko. You're up 1-0. There's less than 5 minutes left. I mean, can't make that play. Simple as that. Can't make it. That is egregious.
Next up for Switzerland will be Finland on the 27th, and then Canada the 29th. And they'll close out the round robin against Germany on the 30th. So the Switzerland power play 0 for 1 with 3 shots, and there's a 4th shot of the power play as that comes off the stick of Meyer. Garagano sends it behind, up top it comes for Noah Meyer. Garagano trying to go cross ice, and it gets picked off by Elias, and he'll send it all the way down the ice.
We showed Elias in the second period with that defensive play in front of his net on Lionel Marchand. That's another really good alert play by Elias.
Canuck sends it in. Bottini hustles after it, makes its way back to the blue line. Garagano back for Bottini. Canuck in front of the net. There's also a misconduct that goes along with the minor. At the blue line for Meyer. Canonica, near side, jumps over the stick of Barragano. Barragano the shot off the left shin pad of Bichar. Canonica, 1-0 Slovakia on a goal by Fight. Canuck, the shot deflected. Oh, what a save! Latkazi flashes the leather. An unbelievable stop to keep this 1-0.
We saw earlier in the game how quickly he reads the play. He's got exceptional quickness, but there he is. There's his head, left head, watching the play, looking, taking a peek, seeing where the next challenge may be or where the threat is, and he just explodes over there. But he's got a strong idea of where he needs to get to, and Barragano did not get it past him. Fantastic.
What a stop. Short-handed, maybe an odd man rush. Chipped in front of the net. Kalenic tried to get a stick on it, could not. As Golian tried to feed it there. 24 seconds left in the power play. 1-0 Slovakia, and offside against Switzerland.
A lot of times we hear, oh, goaltender competes to keep the puck out of the net. Well, that's the goaltender's job, but the competitive determination to push and give everything you have to make a save, that's an example of it right there. And Latkazi, just unbelievable play. Yep.
Great push across. Dying seconds of the man advantage for Switzerland. Switzerland down a goal. Bottini sends it across. That got blocked. Back at the line, Meyer with the shot. Bottini all over the crease area. 3 shots on that power play for Switzerland. So Slovakia now 2 for 2 on the penalty kill, and a tripping penalty coming up. Power play when we come back.
Well, Simon Latkazi, unbelievable save on that play across, and then he makes another one going the other way with the left arm, stretches it as high as he can, and then we see a penalty here by Marco Straha, a tripping penalty. So Switzerland goes back on the power play, and .225 left in the third period, and not the opportunities you want to be given to your opponent with a 1-0 lead.
Canuck in front of the net. Latkazi down, and we will get another stoppage in play as Switzerland trying everything to get one into the back of the net. And Latkazi denying.
Latkazi, he gets into that position in his crease and finds the puck and battles to find the puck. A lot of times goaltenders, they're not sure, so they back off and they kind of try to protect the cage. Simo Canuck going off, limping a little bit. One of their better offensive players. Here it is in front, the puck comes up. He gives an elbow to David Mudrak. Definitely could have been a penalty.
152 in the power play.
But Latkazi, I mean, he doesn't get back there hoping. He doesn't play the guess game. He's real strong.
Bichar snaps this around the boards. And Noah Meyer will go back. Meyer into the final 2 minutes of the third period. 90 seconds left in the power play. Noah Meyer got stripped of the puck, and Golian will send it back down the ice. Barragano.
What an excellent play by Dominic Jendik on the boards there to stop that play just inside the Slovak blue line.
with the man advantage. Viaska throws it cross ice. DeRungs will keep an eye on Faton, who now makes his way to the bench, falls, gets up, and does make his way to the bench. Extra attacker, so it's a 6-on-4. Power play. Viaska and a left pad save by Lukatsi. Canuck being watched by Golian. He comes back up top. Pizzulo with the shot. That got blocked. Came back to him. Viaska back for Pizzulo. Cross ice, the shot, and another block as Golian went down in front of it. Into the slot. Pizzulo with the shot, and another block. Another shot, and that one was turned aside by the blocker of Lukatsi. Down low, Allen Spock. Wrist shot, save made. Viaska around, Canuck. Canuck up top, out of the penalty box is Staha. Slap shot, save. No rebound, and a face-off in the Slovakian zone with 20.7 seconds. 3 shots on that power play for Switzerland.
Well, Simon Lukatsi, just brilliant. Little fake here, and then he gets to the top of the crease and kicks that right leg out. And you talk about committing. There's Elias with a real strong shot block, and then Golian, he completely sells out to make sure that shot doesn't get across. What incredible commitment, competitive commitment to doing whatever you need to do to help the team win. We've seen Elias make some really good, strong defensive plays. Another example there.
Switzerland, number 19, minor penalty, slashing. Slovakia, number 4, 2 minutes roughing.
Offsetting penalties. And sure if Switzerland has called a timeout here or not, or they're just getting the advantage of the players taking their time to get to the penalty box. Only goal of the game from Roman Fight. Here in period number 3, 14-17 of the third. In Slovakia, we mentioned this earlier, in the last 2 World Junior Championships, their only win has come against Kazakhstan, so they're trying to take care of that. Meyer, net empty for Switzerland. Up for Canuck. Canuck shot up high. Scramble in front of the net. Big save again by Lukatsi. And
I think he was going for the empty net.
I think he was.
He's not only terrific in the net, he's also bold. There he is, he sees it, kind of gets it near his body. Canuck trying to keep the puck alive, and he swings out of here, puts it down, and trying to do his best imitation of Ron Hextall, get to the open net.
I think Robert Petrovic, you might tell him after the game, maybe you should just hang on to that. Deflected out to center ice, cleared right back in, but delayed offside. Back for Bichar, and time runs out. And Slovakia opens the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship with a 1-0 win over Switzerland. And a shutout for Simon Lukatsi. The last Slovak shutout at the World Junior Championship was Denis Godla back in 2015, a quarterfinal 3-0 win over the Czech Republic.
Well, the last 5 minutes for Slovakia with 2 penalties they had to kill. Certainly probably had Robert Petrovic's heart beating a little bit more rapid, but you see the joy of these players. Competing hard. There's that great glove save on Barragano.
27 save shutout. In Slovakia.
Martin Kromiak and Samuel Kanashko, they recognize brilliance when they see it. That young man was brilliant when he needed to be, as Switzerland threw a lot at him in the last 5 minutes.
Each winner will be awarded with a custom wallet.
Germany and Finland